Good evening, everybody. I'm doing an experiment. I'm going to see if I can turn my phone around. I don't know how to do any of this stuff. But I thought I'd let you see my face. They cut down a dead tree earlier and the boys drug it. There's a stump over there. See it? Um, Keith has been working his tail off building a fence. Can you see it? We haven't decided on the finishing touches, gate, and all that, but he's going to make me a pallet gate. But we got to get in here to water, so hopefully he doesn't do too much too permanent. Do you see what's going on here? You see how there's a big gap on the bottom? Well, a neighbor of ours has some free fence that's a couple feet wide that's going to go along the bottom. We're trying to do this, as cheap as possible. We try to do most things as cheap as possible. Um, and, I was just, whew, oh, the little gnats are awful. I probably picked an awful day to do this. They're all trying to fly right at me. Here, let me sit down right here so we can see what's going on. So here's the garden behind us, and I was just watering some stuff, and I was thinking, well, it hasn't become profitable yet. Of course not. Gardening's not really about profit, I don't think. Um, Sustainability, possibly, but yeah, profit, no. Apple trees are doing really good, and I was trying to think of how good is it doing considering how long we've been going at it. And I was thinking, okay, so the apple trees had been in the ground a year. I think May they've been in the older ones, the originals back there, and cherries too, 4 and 4. And there's 2 at Keith's place. They're doing well, and there's 2 more that we planted this year. But anyways, the beginning ones have been in there about a year and not quite a year and a half, and they're doing really good. The cherries, they had something laying eggs. I don't know. Was it ants? I don't know. Or were the ants eating whatever was laying the eggs? That put a little bit of a stunt on a couple of the cherries, and the heat seemed to get to them. And just my noviceness with fruit trees, I am, of course, really wondering if I'm doing right. So I did some reading, and I got to get the mulch spread out. It can't be too much around the roots. I just can't keep dumping it into the cages. So we're starting to remove cages. One of them is just really doing really good. Let's see. I mean, they all are. They all look pretty and green. Just some are bigger than others. So this is number 1. It looks pretty darn good, don't you think? Let's see. Can you see it? Um, Number 2 is not quite as good as number 1. But number 3 is almost already like an old apple tree. It's got limbs on the bottom that hang down. It's really pretty. Let me stand in front of it. And that's at a year and a half. So that's a good looking tree. Now my cherries. This one has had a hard time since the very beginning. See the difference of cherries and the apples? But it's still going. And can you see where it's curled up there? That's where it had some stuff, and I had to spray it, and it's gone away, and it's still green. But that puts some stunt on it for the year. This one got a little bit of the same thing. It's taller, but it's kind of sparse, There's not a whole lot going on. And I don't know about cutting it this winter, because, yeah. But can you see it's got the same stuff? And then when the heat came, for just those couple of days, I looked out here and I saw these, and I thought, oh my, I don't know if it's just because of the heat, or as you can see down here, I got a lot of mulch piled up. And so it's time to let these babies loose, because you can do root rot and stuff like that. So this guy also had a little bit of trouble, but it's pretty darn full and good looking. I like that. And the one at the end is kind of combo all of them. It's doing okay. It's doing okay. You know, I'm happy that they're alive. Maybe I should put lime on them one more time. So 2 of the cages went on these 2 new guys over here that have survived the summer, I think, and they got ate a little bit, but they've got some growth on them, and I think they'll do okay. So yeah, we've put some money into this. We've put some money into dirt, mulch. Keith's put a lot of time into, he built me the, compost bin in the back. We bought a rain barrel over here, and let's see, where am I? Bought a rain barrel over here, and it's hard to point. and the compost bin, which I've never had a actual compost bin before. I've always just made my own of something, a fenced in area, just a spot out in the woods. I have a big Rubbermaid tub at the house in Rockport that we found floating up on the pier. So that's a first. And I'll tell you what, I've been putting stuff into it for about a year. I haven't made any dirt yet, and that's a family of 4. So I'm not sure how long it takes. These bugs go for the ears and the nose. I think I snorted one up a little while ago. So that's a year and almost a year and a half on some of that stuff. Asparagus is doing just, where is it? Can you see it? It's hard to see what I'm looking at. There it is. It's doing good. It's doing real good. And my comfrey, which is one of the only herbs that I'd planted, it's doing awesome. That's just seeds, The asparagus, it wasn't too expensive buying it at that nursery. The strawberries, I got a whole bowl of them this year. And I think I would have got more if whatever ate them, probably the deer hadn't ate them twice. That's twice. So we're also we think it's fence time, because if things get ate enough, perennials, they don't come back if they get destroyed enough times, most of them. So, and the squash, it looks awesome, but I have yet to really see a good looking squash or zucchini in there. So I don't know if I just planted that all for show and it's not gonna do anything. Can you see it? It's big. And there's a couple watermelons in there. They might be watermelon squash. I don't know. And potatoes, that's still a total experiment there. I'm curious to see what happens with the potatoes. Do you see them? Well, so I guess I'll turn this around. Let me see if I can turn this around. I'm going to pause it for a second, because you've seen enough of me for the day. Ain't nothing pretty here. But let's move on. I'm not comfortable in front of the camera. I'm working on it, y'all. I'm working on it. And we'll continue on. Hold on just a second. Well, my answer to that is no. It will not let me turn it around. So here you go. There's the garden, if y'all can see it at all. I'm going to end this in just a second because my experiment has failed. And I've got, let's see. We've got some peppers coming on, a bunch of them. I need to be picking the beets. I will be picking onions soon. I have got quite a few tomatoes. Oh, look at this. Can you see this? Look at all the tomatoes. So I would say it's a success. Success. Can I spit the word out? Keith says I need it for my sanity. And I think he might be right. I got a bunch more tomatoes over there. It's hard picking peas. I don't know about all that. I'm the only one that would eat them. I still got another batch of peas out here. I got some yellow squash in there in a couple different places. Ooh, I see one. Can you see it? I have no idea where I'm aiming this camera, so I'm going to turn this off. Y'all have a great night, and I'll continue trying to show you my crappy skills at all of this. I'm trying. Y'all take it easy. Have a good night.